Hi, it's Charlie McCann from Stan James. Welcome to a preview of this midweek football action in two vital games in the Carling Cup and in the Premier League. Just a quick reflection on what we learned from last weekend. Well, we learned that City aren't as good as some would have us believe. And if you'd have told me when Liverpool dropped 2 points rather, at the Britannia Stadium Saturday lunchtime, that both Spurs and Aston Villa wouldn't pick up maximum points in their games against Hull and West Ham respectively, that's a massive blow lost. And you have to say, does a team other than Liverpool really want to finish fourth? I think that was an opportunity lost for both those, and of course in the City, of course, losing at Goodison. Also, just a quickie on the Australian Open tennis with Robin Soderling is out, the 8th seed, a member of finalist in the French Open. I think Andy Murray's played the best so far out of all the seeds. Federer lost a set, Del Potro lost a set, and Nadal impressive as well. Djokovic is playing as I speak, and he's won the first set, but Murray's the best. But Murray's played best so far, but he played a bit of a pub player, and he's out to 6-1. He hasn't got the best of draws. But first of all, tonight's game between Manchester City and Manchester United, interestingly as well, when this was postponed, City were appearingly on the roll, and I think they were looking forward to the game, maybe a bit more less so tonight after quite a chastening experience, given they were chased all around Goodison Park on Saturday. I think we found out that Mancini isn't a miracle worker. This is, remember, the same Manchester City side that went to Spurs a month ago as well and lost 3-0. Well, they were lucky to get nil at Goodison. Of course, well documented about Rubinho, and of course Aubameyang Adebayor. And it looks as if he's going to be missing for some time. I can't really have Manchester City. But a fascinating game tonight. 6-4 for City, 7-4 for United, and the draw 23-10. Remember, United beat Spurs 2-0 at Old Trafford in the last round of this. Darren Gibson almost first appeared on the scene. He scored, of course, at Beauty at West Ham subsequently. I think Fergie's still going to go with the kids. You probably have Wayne. If Wayne doesn't play, I think he'll be on the bench. But I think City may scrape it, but I do think now that United will go forward, and it's a massive game for Manchester City, probably a bigger one. Villa, of course, in opposition with Blackburn for the third time in 8 days. That's tomorrow night, 7-4 on Villa. Then again, they were well on top against West Ham. But West Ham had the chances, and I think Villa will scrape through, but it may not be particularly pretty at Villa Park. I think one other game as well in the Premier League, Arsenal 5-1 on against Bolton, who are 14-1. Fascinating this, in the fact that they only played each other 4 days ago. I've not Googled this or something. Maybe somebody out there might know. When was the last time that two teams met in the Premier League 4 days apart? I wonder if it's ever happened. I think there were stories that in the old days of the First Division, that teams used to play on Boxing Day and then on New Year's Day, and maybe played each other twice in 3 or 4 days. But I don't think in the history of the Premier League two teams have played each other twice in 4 days in the league itself, of course not in the FA Cup. But the big game for me, I must say, is the one at Anfield. Liverpool 11-8, Spurs 2s, draw 9-4. First thing, I don't think there'll be many goals in this game. Spurs haven't conceded in 6 games. Remember, this is the same Spurs side that we all thought were porous, were leaky, that the goalkeeper couldn't keep going, but they'll score goals. Well, I'm afraid to say, whatever you think about the goalkeeping of Myhill on Saturday, that performance as a Crouch and also Keane wasn't good enough. I'm sorry, that header the Crouch missed, and Myhill should have just been picking out at the back of the net. And I think when you think Spurs are not clear in 4th place because they lost at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers, they've lost at home to Stoke, and now they've taken 1 point at home to Hull City, and in those 3 games they haven't scored a goal. And I think that at the end of the season, that may come back to haunt Spurs. I think that this is a fascinating game. Will Aquilani play, or will he go with the 2 holding midfield players of Lucas and Mascherano? Mascherano, of course, will certainly play. No Gerrard, no Torres. I think it'll be very, very tight to it. Stan James offering 5-4 on, that there is less than 2.5 goals. Well, I think all the stats now would suggest both teams are now finding it difficult. I think Spurs have scored 4 against Peterborough, 9 against Wigan, but against decent teams I think they're failing to score. But an absolutely fundamental game to who finishes 4th. Nobody at the moment. Villa don't want to finish 4th. City up here don't want to 4th. Liverpool we know do, but are they good enough? We'll find out tomorrow night. 11-8 Liverpool. They've got to score. Be lucky.